Hey, this is Mike Swanson of Wall Street Window. Today, I want to talk with you about what is ultimately going to drive the price of silver up and gold too, for that matter, with some charts that explain what's going on with both, and you can understand what drives their price action. Now, here's a chart of silver. As you probably know, for really since the last 11 months, silver has been trading in a range in which $22 has been the floor, 21.22 has been a buy zone, and then 25.26 has been a sell zone, a trading range. And typically, when something trades in a trading range, when it breaks out of it to the upside and stays above that level for a week, then you get the new move up, silver going up to 29, 30, beyond. And from this level, 22, going up to 30 is going to be uh, a big gain. And I think, ultimately we're going to see silver go up even higher than that. So in my view, and I own silver, I believe, any dips below 22 are just buy opportunities and you accumulate. So there's two interesting things on this chart, though, that you may have never seen before, and they're correlation indicators. They're measuring the price of silver with another asset. The first one is gold, and it's a ratio, and what it does is divide the price of silver um, by the price of gold and compare it over a 200-day period. And when this ratio is up at 1, it means they're both trading exactly together. When silver's up 1%, gold's up 1%. When silver's down 1%, gold is down 1%. When this indicator is at -1, it means they'd be trading completely opposite to one another. It's a way to measure their price relationship. Historically, silver trades pretty close to gold. That's why this indicator is near 1. And so that means that when gold goes up, we can expect silver to move. And actually, in gold bull markets, silver tends to move up at a higher rate than the price of gold. Now, what's on the bottom of this chart is comparing the price of silver with this correlation indicator with the U.S. dollar index. As you can see, it's near -1. So a weak dollar is bullish for silver. Now, if we look at the dollar chart, what we can see is that really, much like silver, the dollar is trading right around 104, the U.S. dollar index, and that's exactly where it was last December, last September, last May, last March, and New Year's of 2023. So the U.S. dollar index has had its ups and downs, but really has gone nowhere in 14 months. Not surprisingly, you could say the same thing about silver. Silver right now is where it was New Year's 2023 and New Year's 2022. So ultimately, a weak dollar is what will drive the price of silver up. And I think we're going to see a weaker dollar trend resume in the markets before the end of spring or in the summer. We were having a bounce in the dollar since about mid-December, but it's been a very weak bounce. And if you've been following attention to the financial news, the Federal Reserve has set the stage for interest rate cuts at some point this year. It could be in May, it could be in June, most likely June at this point. 2 weeks ago in 60 Minutes, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell talked about lowering interest rates a little bit starting mid-year. That's basically June at this point. But if there's surprisingly weak economic data between now and then, the cuts will happen a little bit earlier than he is projected or set. Either way, the stage is set for interest rate cuts, which will make the dollar trade down and ultimately be bullish for gold. And gold is trading bullish. Gold made an all-time high when it went above 2,100 a couple months ago, and it's currently trading in a very narrow range with support really around 2,000. Its 200-day moving average and 150-day moving average are converging at 1980. So really, I see dips in gold towards 2,000. If we can, maybe we'll get one down to 1980, is buying opportunities. Now, there's another thing too, besides simply the action in the dollar and interest rates that ultimately drive gold and silver up, and that's financial risks in the stock market. Now, the stock market's having a nice rally. It really started a bull market in the first quarter or the very end of 2022. In the first quarter of 2023, I was doing videos saying, hey, we're starting a new cyclical bull market. And I was doing these videos after having been bearish in 2022 in warning of a coming bear market in 2021. And we got that. But at some point, the bull market will end. And when it does, that will drive money into gold as a safe haven. And on the bottom of this chart, we have a relative strength ratio comparing the strength of gold with the stock market. It's going sideways, but when it goes up, it means gold is outperforming the market. And when that happens, silver really starts to take off. And I'll show you in a 20-year period, that was the case from really 2002 to 2011. And you can see gold went from 400 all the way up to 2000, a 5 times multiple, and silver went up even more. And silver had a massive explosion in price in 2010 and 2011. So long term, that's what we're looking at, explosions in price, but we got, buying opportunities on dips. And the stage is set, I think, for silver stacking and gold bug people to accumulate and thrive when liftoff comes. But the way I see it is when I can average in, when I can accumulate, I'm building myself. What it's like by building yourself a rocket, and eventually it will really take off. And in the meantime, it provides a source of safety as a portion of your portfolio and other assets you might own. No one can take your silver and physical gold away from you, no matter what happens with interest rates, what happens with inflation, what happens with the economy. When you own physical gold and silver, that's safety. And it's fun to know that you got it. So all that said, if you want more my thoughts on these markets, hit the like button. And if you're new to my YouTube videos, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell next to it, and YouTube will send you an alert as soon as my next video is up. And if you hit the notifications of that bell, you'll get the podcast I put out too. I don't really know why, but YouTube seems to just send that to people who hit those notifications. And I'll be talking with you later.